Hi guys, how's everybody doing? It's so funny. I always think, okay, I'm gonna say something different. Like, yo, what's up? Or, I don't know. I guess we just kind of always say the same thing. Um, yeah, so once again, um, I made some journals. I don't know. I love making journals. It's just, seriously, okay, like, ever since I was a little teeny tiny kid, I have loved cutting paper and gluing paper and stuff. So thank you guys for, indulging me in my, you know, quirky little thing, right? And thanks for coming along with me on that. Um, so I've been hoarding, literally hoarding these readers. I'm not gonna like rush through this video because these journals are really special to me in particular. So I've had live sales and things like that, and I've sold quite a few vintage readers. But these are the ones that I have clung to, that I just could not wait to turn into journals. And so I just took the time and made the space in my life to make them. And I put all my favorite things in these. Except I didn't put any glassine envelopes in them in the journals. I am going to add some into, like a little pack. That's going to be a surprise though. I haven't put it together yet, but it'll be a cool little add-on. Anyway, so let's kind of jump in, and these do have names. Each of them has a name, and the name came to me from looking through each one of them. And there is a Jane, and there's an Anne. So anyways, I'm curious to know if you guys can pick up, if you purchase one of these, if you can pick up where I got the name from. So anyway, all right, so let's do a flip through. Which one? I don't know. Maybe I'll flip through all of them. Who knows? Let's do Making Friends first, even though that's not the name of the book. Well, that's the name of the book, but that's not the name of the journal. The name of the journal is Alice. Okay. So this is my favorite part, is the spines, the covers. These have been around for a long time. Most of them since the late 40s, early 50s. I think one of them is like 38 or 39, something like that. I can't remember. But, they have been in the hands of lots and lots of kids. And, this is where our children learn to read, which is like the most amazing gift, I think. And, let's hear it for teachers again, right? Because I don't know. I just think it's a miracle that they teach kids how to read. Anyway, so that's what's cool about these, is that, we can think back, on when we were kids and learning to read, and reading from these aloud in class together. And, I always wanted to read, like I always wanted to. And, the characters in these books are like part of our life, like they're part of our history, and all of us can think back and remember, like Dick and Jane, and Spot. So I just really wanted to try to capture some of that feeling, and also just part of that era, when these books came from, in 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, I don't know. But anyway, so the spines, back to the spines, Jessica. I know I get sidetracked. So basically, the books aren't very thick. Like, they were, maybe like that thick, And that just, you know, to me, that just wasn't enough space. Okay. I wanted them to be a little bit fatter. So what I did was I just carefully used an X-Acto blade and I cut the spine off of the front and back cover. And then this piece that was left was pretty fragile. And, you know, if I hadn't done what I did, it would have been, you know, difficult to reinforce the spines to where I felt like they were going to stand the test of time, right? But I really, I also wanted to make them, you know, retain that because the spine is cool. So even on one of them, like, you can't even read it. Like, you can't even really see. I mean, you can, but you have to really look hard, you know, all of that wear on there. But anyway, so basically that real thin, fragile paper that was left after you take off the like cardboard part and stuff, basically I just glued it to a piece of canvas and then just did some messy stitching around the edges and you know, that kind of stuff. So these are really sturdy now. The spines are really soft. You know, they're you know, flexible because basically they're, you know, they're canvas. So I really like that, and it just kind of adds to the tactile, you know, quality, pleasant tactile quality, I should say. Anyway, because something could have a terrible tactile quality, I guess. Anyways, they feel really good in your hands is what I'm trying to say. And then some of them, I actually stitched with the sewing machine, stitched through the spine and attached the, or through the cover and attached the spines. I was not able to do that on all of them, but I did do some stitching, so it kind of looks like I did, right? This one, it is stitched. It's actually, I actually got my machine to go through the spine, which is why I bent the needle on my machine last night. Anyways, or night before. Anyway, so let me get into this one and just kind of give you an idea. So I just did like a tie closure, you know, front and back with an eyelet. And then the charms are basically a couple of little tiny flashcards. These are made from the when you buy like flashcards, there's always like a little tiny, like a card that has little tiny examples, right, of all of the problems. And so I just cut that apart into little pieces and then put an eyelet in each of them. So you get a couple of little mini flashcards. And then I took these dice. These are really old dice, and kind of sanded the corner flat, and then drilled a hole in it and put a screw eye in there and glued it in there so it's pretty sturdy. So made a charm out of a dice or die. And then these are some vintage shanked buttons. Most of these are mother of pearl or something like that. And then some other just like colorful buttons, some plastic ones, and you know. And then this is the scan of, let me zoom in. Geez, Jessica. Okay, so oh, there it is. Okay, new software for the webcam, which is nice. If I could figure out how to use it. There we go. Okay, so this is I have a whole bunch of wooden spools of thread, and so this is one of the labels, and I just scanned it, and you know. Anyway, on a clasp. So there's lots of room on here, so you could add more stuff if you want to, whatever. And then I just did the name of the journal on these old, very worn red price tags that I got from Patty, and I just love them. So anyway, so that's on there too. Okay, so I tried to retain a little bit of the inside cover you know, depending on what was there, okay, what was like already on there. Some of them didn't have anything, so I was okay with that. Some of them had some really cool stuff, like all the way on the whole cover. So in that case, I didn't put a pocket on the front cover. So this one, it just had, this book is the property of, you know, and then there wasn't really much down here, so I was okay with adding a pocket, but you can see there's somebody's name right there. Anyway, so then did some collage like pockets, and then added a collage tag in there. And then I used these old flashcards that I purchased recently in a lot. And I'm in the process of reproducing some of them, but these are from 1909. These flashcards. Well, most of them are, and so this is the original though, and I used a lot of these in all of these readers for pockets, and also I think I used some as tags, but and so then these are just some like dividers from some of those, you know, well, from a recipe box, basically, okay? And so then I just glued an image from the, actually it goes like that, from the Garden Flowers and Color book, and then stitched around it. And I always do messy stitching. I just do. It's just what I love to do. And a couple of pink guest checks in there. And you can do whatever you like with them. So some pages from Popular Mechanics, some avocado dyed paper, and this is a page from, so I used pages from all of the readers in all of the books. So the pages that you get are not necessarily from that reader, okay? They may be from a different book. This is some tea dyed ledger paper, and this is a page from The Lion's Haircut. This is a Telltale book, and it's such a cute book. And then some library cards, or you know, catalog cards. This is just a little birthday card that came with some vintage wrapping paper, okay, with the envelope. Super cute. And this is a seed envelope, brown paper seed envelope, and I actually do sell these in my shop. So and then, you know, I do the notch on there, and I kind of smooth it out. I kind of round it off with my scissors just to make it more, I don't know, more friendly, I like to say. Another page from a vintage Telltale book. This is a typing book. It's a 1947 typing book. And contrasting new with old, I added some graph paper. And then this is from another little alphabet book that I've been hanging on to. J is for jump, up in the air. And some more tea dyed ledger paper. And then a couple of pages had actually stuck together, so I just kind of glued some stuff on the front and back of that page. And some other guest checks in here. And can you tell I just got like a bunch of guest checks, so I'm using them like crazy. And then just a couple of tags with some book pages glued on the back. There's another page from that alphabet book. And this is some glassine paper that I'm also going to be carrying in my shop. I haven't actually got it listed yet, but yeah. And this is the other side of that seed envelope. Little mini flashcard from an old Monopoly game here. And then this is actually like a biology flashcard. So kind of a theme here, like a school sort of theme. I'm not going to take everything out of the paper clips, but you know, it's just a kind of a hodgepodge of different things. But This is from, I don't know what this game was. I know it wasn't Monopoly, but it was some old, you know, old game like that. I think I got that from Patty too. And then a recipe from the Betty Crocker Boys and Girls Cookbook. There's a recipe for grilled cheese sandwiches. And then I took apart a bunch of my old like reader workbooks, and some of the pages I just tore them apart into, you know, interesting pieces, and so I just added some of the pieces back into the books. So here's another little mini flashcard, and then I did some old postcards that were kind of from that same era, you know, that I thought maybe, I don't know, family would have maybe brought home a postcard from on their family vacation or something. I don't know. This is the lion's haircut again. It's a really cute Telltale book. There's another page from one of the readers. Avocado paper. And almost to the end of the signature. So this is actually a card from a different like phonics set that I have. So that's just stitched on there. And then I made some of these little like matchbook style notebooks, and I added one in randomly in each journal, so you'll get one of those somewhere in your journal, and it just sticks in there, tucks in there. And then these are some like waxed, or no, these are sandwich bags, some paper sandwich bags that I picked up at Target. They're kind of cool. And then this is just, you know, random ephemeral type of stuff. This is an actual photograph of a lady that, I don't know, she was outside doing laundry or something, and someone took a picture. She's got an apron on. It's a little tag, or a ticket that I stamped on, so you get that picture. And then it lists a little ticket. And they're all different, you know. They don't all have the same ephemera in them, but, you know, we're looking at this one, so I'm showing you. And then I did do fabric tabs. I used a lot of the fabrics that I've gotten from Rachel at Roxy Creations. And I just did like some layering of different ones with different textures and ones that I liked the color and stuff. And then I just stapled them onto the pages. So I do that after I'm finished with the sewing machine, after I've stitched the signatures in and stuff, which is why I don't stitch them in. Sometimes I do, but, you know, honestly, lately I haven't been wanting to add tabs to my journals, and so I probably wasn't going to do tabs, and then I decided I wanted to, so that's why they're stapled. But yeah. And then, so that's an old playing card. And another page from a different reader, and this is just sort of a little paper collage. Another photograph with some old postage. It was actually airmail. Another guest check. This is an old, like a receipt from a beer distributor, and just some other random stuff. I made a lot of tags out of old vintage wallpaper. So some of them I didn't add any kind of topper on them, but I just stuck them in the journals anyways. So you could add something on the top of that if you wanted to. This is a different children's book that's all about shapes and stuff. And I thought they were kind of cool because, you know, if you're into like collaging or art journaling or anything like that, and if that's the kind of stuff that you do in your journals, I thought these would be really fun to work with. So this is a page from one of those workbooks that I mentioned earlier. This is just from encyclopedia, an old encyclopedia. And then it's another one of those dividers that I did some collaging on. And then another pink guest check. You're going to get sick of seeing guest checks this round. And these are some seed packet images that I purchased off of Etsy. Can't remember who it was. I'll try to remember, and then I'll put it in the description. But they're really cute. They're just like seed packets. So, yep. And then there's a lot of envelopes that I stitched into this, to these journals. So these are some other of the images that, you know, came from those workbooks. And I love, you know, just tearing them apart. I just like the way that looks. So those go in there. And then this, I made a bunch of cards out of a children's dictionary. So I just actually glued them onto, this is construction paper. So, and then, you know, I was going to stitch around these, but then I thought, geez, Jessica, you stitch everything. So give it a break. Anyway, another divider that's been collaged. And then these are some other images, public domain images that I've printed. This is a recipe for bunny salad from the cookbook for boys and girls. And then these pages, some of these pages are from the Little Big Books series that I've been in love with lately. And this is the one on animals. There's some recipes from some vintage like cookbook pamphlets. Some more glassine paper, another postcard. And this is another like really old flashcard that I got recently. This is a I love to save the like end papers from books when I'm taking them apart, and I just always just put them in a special little stack. And then when I'm doing a new series of journals, I always pull those out and I use them in, you know, just as they're good paper. So I don't remember what book this is from, but this is an end paper from a different book. I love this paper. It's so pretty. See, this is another end paper. See, and I just leave them rough usually. And then avocado dyed envelope, and what's in here? It's another little flashcard. This is just some vintage, like classified ads or advertising that's glued onto some cardstock, and then some little tickets. And I just stitched that on before I sealed up the envelope so you could kind of flip it back and forth. That's another end paper. Some atlas pages. That's a very small atlas. Tea-dyed graph paper. Some people call it grid paper. And then I was kind of going with the pink thing when I was putting this journal together, so not like, you know, really strongly, but but sort of. I love pink and orange together, so. And I thought this journal needed, you know, some good, healthy pops of color here and there, so. Oh, that was a wallpaper. This is a wallpaper glued onto some avocado dyed file folder. It's another one of those flashcards from the schoolhouse. Oh, and this is a page from an old field guide on rocks and minerals. Thought it was interesting. And then this is from one of those kids, like, natural science books. Just, you know, I love the paper that those books are made on, or made with. It's just really nice paper. Another guest check. I'm almost embarrassed. And then these are instructions from a pattern. It's an old pattern, so I just put the whole thing in there. They don't all have one of those, but I just, you know, I saw it and I just stuck it in this one. This is from one of the oldest readers, And I think it's this one. I think it's the Friends in Town and Country. I think that's where this page came from. And I'm also going to be putting together some other bundles of book pages, namely the reader pages. I've got a stack of them that I think I'm going to make at least, 3 or 4 bundles of pages from those and offer them in my shop for sale. This is that same book. No, this is a different one. This is the one that was on counting, not shapes. So this is from the workbook. See, this is the workbook. The Listen, Speak, and Write. Another encyclopedia book, or book page. Some more pieces from the workbook. And yeah, there's like 4 of them in there. And then another postcard. And those just tuck in there. Just another envelope. Just some like collaged paper on some cardstock and then stitched up. And no, this is from some other game. I don't know, but it was old. This is from a really old little notebook. It's just like grid paper though, so I thought it was really cool. Really yellowed and aged, and it's super soft paper. And then a library card. Some more of the typing book. Some old postage. I have some of those like nature no, wait, back up. They're like kids encyclopedias or dictionaries. One of the two. I think they're dictionaries. Anyways, I went through a lot of the pages and just cut out the flowers. So, another wallpaper tag. I like the ticking pattern on that. And then I added a couple other tags in this one. In this pocket. This is just a waxed paper sandwich bag. They're real soft, so they're kind of flimsy, but it's good enough. And then this is another photograph. This is the actual image. I mean, yeah, we know it's an image, but it's the original. And then another collage tag. And some vintage ledger paper. The other half of the science encyclopedia book. Okay, and then each one of these has a fabric pocket. That's either some kind of vintage fabric on each one. Some of them are feed sacks, some are not. And then these little tags I actually made out of a gift box that I have. Had. And I just like the pattern. And another little collage tag. This is the little tags from one of Tracy Fox's kits. It's one of her faux ephemera kits. She has a couple of those, so I'm not sure which one it is, but I think it was the first one. So, and then I've started using this stamp to identify myself as the bookmaker on my journals. So, but I try to put it somewhere where it's kind of inconspicuous. And I might have to stamp this one again because I just covered up my own name and stuff on here. But anyways, yeah, so if I stamp it again, I hope you don't mind. So, and then this one just has 2 different pink seam bindings. I dyed both of these myself. I don't remember what I used on this one. I think it might have been alcohol ink, and the other one was some kind of just like ink pad ink and water. So yeah, so that is Alice. Okay, And the cover on this is not actually pink. It's kind of like a peach color. So just in case that's not really coming through. This is pink, but this is more of a peach. So, okay, so that's Alice. This one is, this is the Happy Days book, but the name of the journal is May. Okay, so May has a sari silk closure. Just a little bit different kind of feeling in it. But, you know, not completely different. A lot of the same types of things in here. There might be some different types of pockets or whatever, but generally pretty similar. Lots of guest checks. And, you know, pages from some of the same books. I did make some of these little booklets too. I'm going to be making some minis for February. I haven't done my February minis yet. And I think I'm going to be doing them similar to that. Something like that. And yeah, postcards. Here's the matchbook notebook in this one. So you actually get two little notebooks in this one. Yeah, so, oh, more pages from the Lion's Haircut. So you get the idea, right? So this one is May. That's her name. And yeah, I really like that one. I like the color. I like all of them. So this one is the Working and Playing book, and her name is Peg. Really big dice on this one. This is actually from a casino. And a lot of the same kind of stuff. It's a little label from a spool thread. Buttons, more buttons. Yeah, so this one, the closure is actually some flour sack that I tore into strips. So here's an example of one of the books that I didn't want to cover that up. Like, I just couldn't bring myself to cover that up. If you want to cover it up, that's fine. I put the pocket in the book. It's just not glued in. So it's in here, but yeah. But I just didn't have the heart to cover that up. It's too cool. So here's the matchbook notebook. And I thought that was great for me. Isn't that awesome for a journal? Yeah. Whoops. Come off of there. There we go. Guess it wasn't dry. Yeah, so there's, you know, there's 10 photos of each journal in the shop. Each listing. So yeah, there's the back of this one. Okay. So this one is Peg. Okay, and then this one is Anne. And I wound up with 3 red ones and like 3 kind of like orange ones. So I thought that was kind of strange. But there's like 3 or 4 red ones. So again, this one I could not cover up the paper on the front. This one wasn't quite so emotional. But you know, just a lot of the same kind of stuff. Lots of book pages, lots of yumminess, lots of homemade tags and that kind of stuff. Some kind of grungy stuff, some not so grungy stuff. Lots of lace and vintage fabric and that kind of thing. So here's the pocket that would have covered all that up. So you can use it just as a journaling card or whatever. Oh, and guess what I found, you guys? I found some old Scotch tape. So I've been using it in my collages. Look at, isn't that cool? It's super neat. I love it. So I've been using that. This one has real lacy kind of tabs. So this is such a cool little alphabet book. This one doesn't have anything on the back, but yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, so this one's Anne. Pretty neat, huh, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I just okay?
No, go ahead. Sammy's gonna use the microwave, you guys. It's okay, Sam. Okay, and this one is Jane. And I love this big yellow button. There's the dice and little flashcards, etc., etc. You know, I should be showing you guys the spine and stuff on these. Dang, I'm slacking. I love this book. I love the puppy on the back. That's Dusty. Fun with Dusty. So this one is very blue inside. Yeah, again, I could not cover that up. Here's your pocket. Kinds of yumminess. I really enjoyed making these. I feel like these are kind of like back to my older style of junk journal, and I'm happy that I was able to do that. You know, I feel like lately I've been doing a lot of stuff that I don't know if I would necessarily consider them to be junk journals. They're journals, but I don't know if I would call them junk journals. So anyway, so I was happy to be able to do that. So again, this is Jane. And then this one is Lily. With the flour sack binding. And this one is somewhat pink also. I like that. Pretty. You know, it's funny when I'm putting these together, like, I don't necessarily really think too much about the color scheme or anything, but it just kind of comes together naturally, you know? Like this signature kind of turned out to be primarily like yellows, kind of chartreuse and stuff. And that just happened real naturally, you know? Anyway. Excuse me. Oh, and then this one actually had the original library card and pocket. So I just left it in there. That's how I got it, and that's how you'll get it. Okay, so that is Lily. Two more. There's 9 altogether, guys. And then this one is Violet. And here's the spine on Violet. Here, let me turn it that way. So you can see, like, they're real soft. Soft and squishy. Almost like a rolled spine if you kind of just shape it that way. Kind of, I don't know. I just love the way they feel. So this one has another one of the dice from this is actually from Las Vegas, the Sahara Hotel. I don't know what that has to do with children's readers, but I thought they were cool. So. I'm just kind of quickly sort of almost flipping through these. Right? I'll do that one more time. I'm watching in the monitor. Okay. So this one does have the fabric pocket in the back. And there's lots of room in these still, you guys. There's still tons of space. Like if you took out all the tags and, you know, cards and all that stuff that's in them, you would see that they're just full. Like they're just full. Okay, so this is the We Live and Grow book, and the name of the journal is Ruth. Okay, so this one has a yellow dice on it, or die. I don't know what the proper word is.
Die.
Is it die? Okay, thanks, Sam. So here's the spine on that one. See it? It's so yummy. Okay, what did I say? Ruth? Yeah. Okay. This one has a seam binding closure. And lots of collaging and goodies throughout the whole book. I seriously could have just kept on going with these and adding more and more and more and more and more. I could have collaged every page. I could have done a cluster on every page, or, you know, whatever. But, you know, I was trying to keep them from being, you know, $500. So, I love this fabric. So this one actually came from the state of Texas. So, property of the state of Texas. So, I think it should go back to Texas. Just my opinion. These are some saver stamps. There's one of those math flashcards. I'm like the flashcard queen lately. I have so many flashcards, it's ridiculous. When I set my mind on something, like, I need more flashcards, they just, I don't know, like, they just come to my life, you know? So, anyway, so that is Ruth. And I'm going to zoom back out, and then I'll set these up kind of like, oh, here's what I'll do. I'll set them up so you can see the spines, okay? And that way I can say I showed you the spines. See what I mean? How there's a lot of red? I guess I just didn't even realize that, but until I, you know, started setting them next to each other, that there was that much red. They're not all red inside. It's just a lot of the covers are red. So. Oh, two more back here. Wait. Not enough room. Did I zoom all the way out? Okay, hold on. There. Okay, there's one more. Okay, it's the yellow one. It goes on the end. Okay. So there's all of my vintage reader journals. And they are all actively listed and ready for new homes, you guys. And like I said, I'm going to be putting together a small little gift bag of goodies in a glassine envelope to go along with these. Okay? All right. Well, listen, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you don't mind. That would be awesome. And then subscribe if you've not already. And don't forget to click the bell if you want to see when I go live or post new videos. And what else? Scotty's fundraiser is on the 27th of February. Come join my Facebook group, Junk Journal Connections. I'll put a link in the description so you can do that. Yeah, have some swaps going on and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So anyways, thank you guys, and thank you to all of my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. I'm super happy and totally blown away at the sheer number of you. So I should do a giveaway one of these days soon here. And thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about you guys. I love you. And I love all of you guys. So you take care, and I will see you soon. Okay. Bye for now.